Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my Europe trip, visiting Stockholm and Amsterdam for the first time. Guys, made it to Sweden, Stockholm. After 6 hours, almost 7 hours being stuck in the train. The train was delayed as well. I'm so hungry and tired. I need coffee and food. And as you saw, we took an early morning train from Copenhagen Central Station, had one transfer in Malmo, and didn't arrive in Stockholm until 3 p.m. that day for a total of 7 hours of traveling. Honestly, I would advise against taking the trains if you're traveling between cities for the first time. Just fly to save time. After checking into our hotel in Norrmalm, the Hobo Hotel, we headed out to do some shopping right away before the stores were closed for the day. Generally, it can be cheaper to buy a product in its country of origin, and I know it is the case for some of my favorite brands based here in Stockholm, such as Totem. I was so glad that I got to buy something at the Totem flagship store in Stockholm, of course, for a lot cheaper than what I had to pay in the US. Plus, I also got a VAT refund. Again, VAT or VAT stands for the value added tax. The process in the EU is different and handled at the point of departure. To receive a VAT refund, your purchase here must be qualified for tax-free shopping, meaning there's a minimum and that you're a tourist. You have to show proof in the form of a passport to the sales associate. Make sure to keep all forms, receipts, and products you bought with you. Then visit a refund agency, usually located at the airport before you exit the EU, to process the refund. Again, I did mine at the Copenhagen airport before flying home to NYC, and I did it with Global and Planet. A big food goal for us was to try Smørrebrød while in Sweden. Smørrebrød is an open-faced sandwich that consists of thin piece of butter rye bread topped with proteins such as shrimps, pickled herring, smoked salmon, or some other combinations, and fresh herbs. We checked out the historic Amsterdam food hall. I'm probably butchering all of these Swedish names, so please forgive me. It's actually ranked as the 7th best food hall in the world, and we had Smørrebrød at Nybro Smørrebrød, and honestly, they slapped. So fresh and delicious, and I highly recommend giving them a try if you are in Denmark, Norway, or Sweden. For the rest of the night, we spent it in Södermalm, a hip neighborhood known for nightlife and vintage shopping. We stopped by Bar Ninja, a cozy and casual wine bar, and tried Swedish meatballs for the first time in Sweden at Meatballs for the People. Honestly, whenever we're traveling to a new city, I love checking out local grocery stores or farmers markets for local seasonal produce such as fruits, snacks, and packaged food to eat during the trip or to take home. And it's confirmed by our local friends that FIKA, ICA, the largest grocery retailer in Sweden, is a classic choice when it comes to finding a wide variety of Swedish candies, from the famous salty licorice and gummy sugary ones. We had so much fun. Day 2 was our only full day in Stockholm, so in the morning we wanted to check out the breakfast bar at the Hobo Hotel, and we were blown away by the wide range of food and drink options. I'm usually not a breakfast person, but there's something about the food in this region. I find that it's just so light, fresh, nutritious, and actually helps boost my energy throughout the day. Yeah, this one is really done. When traveling, I typically don't like to eat a lot or eat a big portion of something, so my friends and I would usually just get a few things on the menu and share. And that is honestly the best way to travel and explore local cuisine.
Yeah.
At noon, we had plans to meet up with some of our local friends. They are actually friends of my friend who tagged along with us for a couple of days during this trip. They suggested having a FIKA. In case you don't know, FIKA is a Swedish tradition of taking a break from work or daily activities to socialize over a cup of coffee. It's more than just a coffee break, it's a significant cultural ritual that promotes well being, strengthens social bonds in the workplace and among friends, a quintessential Swedish experience. And honestly, I could go for a few fikas a day. After that, we decided to go for a walk, exploring more of the old town Gamla before heading south. Our friends took us to Stockholm's narrowest street that I didn't even know existed prior, and I got to see the famous orange and yellow gingerbread houses in Stortorget, like those that you would see in a fairy tale children's book. Honestly, I felt starstruck the entire time that I was here, and I could not stop taking photos and videos. There's just something so nostalgic about these century-old narrow cobblestone streets, the colorful facades of the houses, and the amazingly and neatly organized store displays in these towns that I find deeply inspiring. Gamla was obviously a bit too crowded, and there were a lot of people in our shots. Right away, we knew we had to be back here bright and early by just waking up extra early the next morning. Hey guys, today is day 2. We have a 4-day exploring the city. It's so beautiful and the streets are so clean. The weather is gorgeous as well. We all agreed to head south to Södermalm for the evening portion of the day, all within walking distance. Normally, I would be down to walk everywhere. However, on this day, at this point of the trip, I was the only one who voted for the train since my feet were starting to hurt. Truthfully, whose feet wouldn't start hurting after at about a week of walking constantly at around at least 20,000 steps a day? I wish I had packed some sneakers. I regrettably didn't. But so glad I pushed through and kept on walking. We wandered through a few narrow uphill streets and climbed more stairs to get to the most amazing lookout points. With the water, the rooftops, and church spires in view, unforgettable, and it's so worth it at the end.
Säg skål!
Oh, skål! on the outside. Then when you get through the first
You see this one, the first
layer,
one is
then
salt,
it's sweet.
and then it becomes
And then when you
sweet,
go through the
and
middle,
then it becomes sour.
Sour.
then it,
Our flight to Amsterdam wasn't until 4 p.m., giving us a few extra free hours in the morning to explore on our own. Since it was our last day in Stockholm, we decided to make the most of it. As mentioned, we wanted to capture a few photos in Gamla stand without the usual crowd, so we woke up extra early this day. After breakfast at the hotel, we took the train back to the old town and retraced some of the paths that we had walked the day before. It was really cool to see the city waking up, kids being dropped off at school, walked by the parents on the streets, adults walking, biking, catching the ferries into the city. Then we made our way to this popular bakery, hoping to try out semla. It's another traditional Swedish sweet pastry on our list that we wanted to try, only to find out that they wouldn't start making it until after Christmas. I got to try their version of a princess cake though, and it was the best I have ever had. Looking back, I really wish we had added an extra day or two to explore the Stockholm archipelago, visiting more parks, spending more time by the calm waters, and perhaps doing a day trip to visit one of the islands nearby. My partner and I are huge nature people, and we're always down for a short hike, seeing the city, exploring more of the nature part of the city. Fluffig, men testa. Det här är en large. Är du framme medium till också?
alltså jag tänkte egentligen
Our flight from Stockholm to Amsterdam was only 2 hours, and just like that, we arrived in Amsterdam. I have a few notes about public transit in Amsterdam. We did not take any trains, nor do we get any chance to ride a bike here, which I'm still pretty sad about. There was only a bus option from the airport to our hotel, so ultimately we decided on Bolt. It is a ride-sharing service similar to Uber and Lyft here in the States. It was surprisingly a lot more convenient and affordable, while as compared to New York City Uber and Lyft prices, obviously. After checking into our hotel, we took a walk along the canals around the neighborhood and ended up grabbing Indonesian food for dinner. Because of the Dutch colonial history with Indonesia, it's actually super popular here, and I would definitely recommend giving it a try if you're visiting. After dinner, we kept things pretty low-key with a drink, played a few rounds of Tin Lan or the card games that is really popular in Vietnam at a bar near our hotel, then called it a night. It rained on my friend's last full day of the trip, but we didn't let that slow us down. She had soup waffles on her list and wanted to check out Amsterdam's red light district or the Wallen. So we made sure to do it all, plus a lot of shopping and snacking in between.
He's so fast with it.
I wasn't filming the whole time. Is it? We are in Amsterdam, walking along the canal. It is so beautiful. I feel like I say this to every city that I go to, but yeah, look at this. People were just biking. It was raining this morning, but the sun came out. As for Dutch comfort food, there are a few things I would absolutely recommend and would 100% eat again, like those freshly made and warm soup waffles, the French fries with truffle mayo and shredded Parmesan, Dutch mini pancakes, and the classic Dutch apple pie. I also got to try stamppot. It's a hearty dish made of smashed potatoes and vegetables, usually served with smoked sausage or meatballs. We had it at a cozy spot called Mothers, which I loved, not just the food, but the atmosphere. The whole place is decorated with photos of mothers from all over, which just give it this really homey, nostalgic vibe. Another place I had on my list was called the Pantry, great for Dutch classics, but they were turning people away when we went on our last day. The wait list just got too long. So if you're planning to go, definitely book ahead. And surprisingly, I couldn't get enough of the Italian sandwiches here. So simple, super affordable, and somehow always hit the spot.
Oh my god, it's so sweet. Wanna try?
Right after my friend left, my partner and I took the tram over to the museum district. I'll admit, I was a little bit hesitant about squeezing in museums at this last leg of the trip, but so glad I did. We went to the Rijksmuseum. Honestly, even if you're not usually into museum, the art and architecture here are absolutely amazing. The collection is massive and so well curated. There's really something for everyone. Personally, I'm a big fan of classic Dutch art and Dutch Chinese ceramics, so getting to see such diverse collection of still lifes, portraits and landscapes, plus the historic objects up close was incredible. Hands down, that visit was the highlight of my time in Amsterdam. Another thing that really surprised me was the cafe and bakery scene in Amsterdam. It's booming. I'm not even exaggerating. There were at least 3 cafes on every block. At one point, it actually started to kind of feel overwhelming. Like, how are there these many people drinking coffee all day long?
Wow. Oh my god.
My topic? Louvre? hands down my favorite bakery and cafe. I only grabbed it to go, but they've got a few other bigger locations around the city, so definitely check it out. Lot 61 makes my perfect cup of flat white. And if you're into more niche coffee experiences, dark DAK is absolutely worth a visit, especially if you're down to try specialty tasting flights. I bought some beans from here and couldn't wait to try them at home. So yeah, if you are a coffee and pastry lover, Amsterdam will keep you very happy. Here are a few things I wish I knew before visiting Amsterdam. First off, Dutch service is very direct. It's just part of the culture, and I think it's great in a city that is so diverse and tourist friendly. If you're doing something that's not quite right, someone will usually tell you, politely of course, but very directly. If you're planning to use a tram, be ready to scan in with your phone when you get on and scan out when you get off. The conductor will watch to make sure you're doing it correctly, and honestly, it felt a bit intense at first. Taking the trams wasn't the most effective way to get around the city, by the way. We walked mainly. The same kind of thing applies in cafes. If you order coffee or pastry and there is no seating, you're expected to take it to go. Waiting around for a table, not really a thing here. That said, Dutch people are generally super kind and friendly until you accidentally step into a bike lane. The bikes here move fast and it's kind of overwhelming, so make sure to look both ways before crossing the streets. One moment that really stuck with me was when I was at this cafe or coffee shop that sells records. There was a group of teens who was blasting TikTok videos on their phones, and the cafe owner would come over and calmly reminded them, this is a listening bar. Very direct, but very Dutch.
This one has mortadella, prosciutto, and pesto.
Please.
If you're planning a visit, here are a few more of my favorite things to do in Amsterdam. Vondel Park is kind of like Amsterdam's version of Central Park. You can take a relaxing walk, do a bit of bird watching, and rent a bike to explore the entire park. After that, wander the charming streets just south of the park for a more local, less touristy vibe. I loved all of the cute houses, the shops, and especially seeing the tiny electric micro cars. They are pretty much everywhere and they're so fun to spot. Exploring the Trieu neighborhood is a must, but don't forget to look up. I got totally obsessed with the old canal houses, especially the crooked dancing ones. I couldn't stop taking photos of them. Don't be afraid to slow down. Some of my favorite moments were spontaneous stops at little shops, cafes, and bars along the way. And honestly, it's also totally fine to head back to the hotel or wherever you're staying at for a quick reset. We did that and it made all of the difference, especially if you want to enjoy the city in the evening too. Amsterdam is super compact and walkable. You can see a lot without ever feeling rushed. It's one of those cities where you can check off the highlights and still have plenty of space to wander and discover your own favorite spots. Amsterdam is a great city to travel alone, and I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I did, all wrapped up in an 11-day itinerary 2-part vlog. I really hope you enjoy tagging along. It's honestly tough to pick a favorite since Copenhagen, Stockholm, and Amsterdam all have such distinct vibes. But if I had to choose, my time spent in Copenhagen was perfect. I love the fashion, design, architecture, and the food scene there, and it really is the perfect city for me. Stockholm still feels a little bit mysterious. I wish I had an extra day or two to explore more beyond the city center. There's definitely so much more to uncover there. In Amsterdam, it felt like the least Europe to me in a good way though. It reminded me a lot of New York with its vibrant diversity, energy, and that perfect touch of chaos. Hey guys, last day in Copenhagen. We are just spending our last 3 hours. We had breakfast or brunch at a polo bar, and then we're just shopping in Magazine du Nord. It's very sunny outside and very busy. I want to pick up some very last minute bakery in Copenhagen to eat in the plane later, like a snack. And then we're gonna head out. It's bittersweet. I miss home, miss New York City, but I'm so sad to leave. It's been an incredible fun trip. I did not get any time alone to talk to you guys on camera. Copenhagen, I love it here so much and cannot wait to come back. But yeah, see you in New York. If you're planning your own trip or have any questions about these cities, feel free to drop me a message, leave me a comment below. I would love to help. I also have this full travel itinerary up on my Substack, so be sure to check it out if you prefer it in a written form. You can find it at anchio.substack.com. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, or follow for more travel stories and tips. My weekly Life in New York City vlog will resume this Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!